Welcome to my concise, long-term review of the Samsung M8 smart monitor. At the time of this video, the device costs about $700 in the US, but the prices in the EU vary from 700 to 800 euros. There are quite a few YouTube videos comparing the Samsung M8 to Apple Studio Display. I've used both monitors for a while, so I wanted to weigh in. Some say that the Samsung M8 is an Apple Studio Display killer at a fraction of the price. On one hand, I can agree with this notion, on the other, I disagree. This is not going to be a detailed comparison, but in case you're wondering, here are a few thoughts. First of all, the M8 is much cheaper. It has a bigger 32-inch screen compared to 27 inches panel found on the Studio Display. Also, there are a lot of smart features built in, which allows you to use it as an independent entertainment center, or you can call it a TV. You can watch Netflix, YouTube, Apple TV, and install other popular apps straight on the device. You can also adjust the height without buying a more expensive display stand, which is the case with Apple's offering. The Studio Display requires you to connect an external device. It lacks all of the smart features the M8 has, but it is made almost entirely out of metal and the build quality is second to none. The entire unit looks and feels super premium, whereas the M8 is made of plastic and it feels a little bit cheap compared to Apple's offering. While the M8 offers very good picture quality for the price, I found the Studio Display to be better in terms of the overall sharpness. It has a higher resolution 5K panel, better viewing angles, higher brightness, and better contrast. Also, this display assures seamless MacBook connectivity, and last but not least, it has much better speakers. Despite being better than the M8, the Studio Display is highly overpriced and it can never be called a good value for the price monitor. On the contrary, the M8 offers a lot of features and value for the price, and it can actually be called a good deal. First of all, it's got a 32-inch 4K resolution display that uses VA type of panel, and it has a matte coating to reduce glare. I found the picture quality to be good as the image is sharp, the colors look nice, and the contrast is better than I expected. However, matte coating reduces punchiness and clarity quite a bit, and the viewing angles are not the best. Despite these shortcomings, the M8 still has a nice display for the price. The whole body of the M8 is made of plastic, and while it's not a premium material, the build quality is pretty good. I like relatively thin bezels, a thin profile, and the overall aesthetics of the monitor. Samsung doesn't charge you any premium for the ability to adjust the height like Apple does. You can also adjust the angle of the screen. The shortcoming: the screen is very flimsy when you move it. Also, you may accidentally adjust the height and the horizontal line if you simply want to adjust the angle. For comparison, much more expensive monitors like the Studio Display stay firm on the table when adjusting the angle, and even if you hit it with a bit of force. One of the highlights: a web camera that can be attached and detached using built-in magnets. Also, you can cover it with a supplied cover, and you can store the cover behind the camera. This is such a convenient solution. In my case, I rarely use the camera, so I keep it off the monitor for a cleaner setup. When I need to use it, I like the video quality, and there is a built-in tracking feature which works pretty well in practice. On the back of the monitor, we have a micro HDMI, 2 USB Type-C, and DC in port. The device works great with my MacBook Pro with just one USB Type-C cable and charges the laptop at the same time. There is no input lag, no stutter, and it's just a great overall experience. You can also mirror the screen wirelessly thanks to the built-in Apple AirPlay, and this feature works pretty well in practice, but there is some latency. That's why I would recommend you stick to the wired connection for the best image quality and zero latency. As I've mentioned before, the M8 is not just a monitor because it has a smart TV built in. It offers all the popular streaming services like Netflix, Prime Video, Apple TV, YouTube, and so on. That means that you can easily repurpose it when you don't need an external monitor. The M8 also supports Samsung's DeX. If you connect a keyboard and a mouse to it, you'll get a desktop computer experience. Besides, you can remotely access your Windows or Mac computer or edit Office documents thanks to the built-in Office 365 suite. I'm a basic Google Docs user, so I didn't use this feature. The UI of the M8 is pretty fast and smooth, and I didn't notice any lag or stutter. You can adjust a lot of different settings related to picture, sound, connectivity, and so on. The remote control is comfortable to hold, it can be recharged via the USB Type-C port, and it has all of the buttons you need, including quick access to Netflix and Prime Video. However, I missed the settings key. There is also a Bixby voice assistant. If you wish so, you can use Amazon Alexa instead of Bixby. The sound could have a bit more bass and depth, but overall, it's pretty good for movies and TV shows. Here is a quick audio test. Overall, the Samsung M8 is a great smart monitor with plenty of features, and it can be used as an independent TV or a productivity center. Despite the shortcomings that I mentioned in the video, the M8 is still a great value smart monitor. For the price of about $700, it can be considered as one of the best value propositions on the market, but make sure to consider all the pros and cons I've mentioned in this video before making the purchase. What do you think about the Samsung M8? Tell me in the comment section down below. Also, please like the video if you liked it, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, it was Linus. Thank you for watching and see you soon.